I'm Jennifer Lee, owner of JPod Creations. Today, we're talking about something that really excites me in the podcast world. More and more companies are starting to do it. Some podcasters, too, are starting to do it to foster communities as well. What am I talking about? That is private podcasting, or sometimes people call it internal podcasting. So let's get started. So, what is private podcasting? Well, first off, you got to do a few things for me. Hit that bell, smash the like button, and please follow this channel. Private podcasting is great for many factors. Like I said at the beginning of this video, great for organizations. Why? Well, it kind of keeps the larger organization, as we're working more remote these days, together. You can take all those internal communications and stick them on the private platform for higher engagement. All those newsletters, all the news going on in the company, any updates, CEO messages, all that can go on the private platform to engage everybody working there. The next thing is training and development. Huge in companies. We're always constantly learning so we can achieve better practices in the company. And a lot of people want to learn more training so they can move up the ladder. So you can put onboarding on, you can put, if you bring in any expert in the field, you can put all those talks on the private platform. So it's always there. It's evergreen content. Everyone is always learning. And also, like I mentioned, depending on what private hosting platform you're on, you can also look at the employees' email addresses. So you know if they're doing the onboarding training, you know what they're listening to. So it's good too, because you can craft your content around there to keep everybody more engaged. Another great reason for an organization to have a private podcast is fostering the community, building those relationships between employees, really letting know people what it's like there, changing company culture, showing that you're just not a box full of people working. You really want to make sure, like, are people succeeding? Does anyone want to share their success? Do the leaders want to share their successes? Like, people love stories. When you tell a story, somebody is more engaged and they listen more. And that's why private podcasting works as well. The more stories you tell, the more engaged people are going to get and feel like they're included in the company. Another great reason is it's secure and confidential. Again, every different private podcasting platform offers something different when it comes to security. So it's finding the right one for you. But sometimes I've heard of organizations do podcasts that are private and no one knows about them because they're so private. So, there's a lot of pluses to having a private podcast, especially if you don't want anyone to find it. And another reason for organizations to have private podcasting is flexibility. Obviously, now in this world where we all work remote, some people are in the office more hours than others. It kind of gives everyone a choice of when to listen to those messages that you've got in the company, anything that they need to know to keep up to date, anything they need to know before a meeting, any training they have to do. They can do it on their time that is convenient for them. They can do it while they're walking the dog, while they're driving. Maybe they have a long commute. So it just adds that flexibility. So maybe someone wants to just sit and relax with their coffee and they don't want to read and they just want to put in the podcast. So again, it offers so much to the company. One other thing I want to add is that it doesn't have to necessarily be a large organization to do a private podcast. Yes, that's what suits them. But I also know that you could use it for people that offer services. Like, say you are a financial advisor and you have your own private list of people. Maybe you want to give them added value. You can't always meet all your clients every week, but you want to keep them informed of market updates. Maybe you're a real estate agent. You want to do the same thing, but you want to provide it to a private list. Private podcasts are a great way to do that. Then you don't have to keep writing emails about, like, the market's doing this, the market's doing that. You can do it in one area. They can listen to it. And again, you can know depending on what platform you use, you can know if these people are listening to it or not. So you can tailor your content to that. And I will get into another video down the road, but I know people are also starting, there's a lot of like buzz on different videos and stuff that a lot of people are starting to use private platforms too. If they have a growing podcast and they want to add extra content for people that maybe want to pay and monetize the podcast, they get a special podcast. So we can go down and talk about that a little bit further. But private podcasts are becoming more and more popular. Basically, an internal podcast or private podcast is taking out those internal communications and creating higher engagement for whoever works in the company. So I think it's a great idea. And please let me know if you have any questions. We'll talk to you next time. Follow, subscribe, and hit the like button. Thank you.